This is Denise Mathew, and today I'm going to do a tutorial on how to make ear wires. Now, I've done ear wires in other videos in the past, and that's usually for a full earring, but I think that sometimes you just want to make an ear wire and you don't want to make a full earring because you have another idea. So today I'm going to show you 4 different styles. This one is just a wrapped one. This is a standard one with a round tipped head pin, and one with a crystal, and then one just plain. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first one will be your just plain one. It's 22 gauge wire. You can go from 18 right up to 22. I suggest between 20 and 22 for the best ear wires. Okay, so the most important tool is just your Sharpie. It's a invaluable tool, and round nose pliers. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a curl on each end of these wires, and I like to do them together. I could do just one, but I like to do them together because I want them to be as similar as possible to each other. Okay, so I've done 2, and now I'm just going to lay one over the Sharpie, and so it's just, and you can do any part of the wire you want, but I want to have a little bit longer tail, so that's what I come up with. Okay, so now I'm just going to do the same thing on the other, and this is why it's important to do the 2 together, because then you can just compare to make sure that they're the same. Okay, so I'm just going to go right around, same way, slide it off, look at them, and this is where you can still do a little bit of adjusting if you want. Okay, so alright, so they're very similar. Now at the end, now I'm going to file these ends, but right now I'm not going to show you that, but you want to do anything that's going in the ear, you want to file the end of it so it doesn't cut you or it's not too sharp. Now I'm just doing a little end tip here. I'm just eyeballing that, there's no measurements, and that's just so it gets in your ear easier. Now after you've done these, if you want to, you can hammer just this upper part here, and I'm going to turn off the sound, so it's just going to be the usual hammer, just flat. No ball peen because I don't want texture. When you do that, it might come out of shape, so all you have to do is just kind of put it back in shape. But what this is going to do is it's going to harden your wire for you, and it'll also make the ear wire hold a little bit better in the ear too, and it also just looks good. Alright, so that pair is done. And for the head pin ones, the round head pin ones, I'm going to use my multi-layer level pliers, which I really like. You don't need them, you can just use round nose pliers. They're just great because they kind of give you a uniform size for all your loops. So I'm just looping in the front here. Okay, so now I have 2, and they're a bit round, so they look nice. And then all I do is take it on the Sharpie again. Okay, right over. Okay, we'll do one, then the other, working together. Again, very, very simple. It's almost like you never need to buy ear wires again after you do this. Okay, so now they're sort of the same. Again, I can hammer them if I want. I'm not going to because I showed you that already. And just the ends kind of even, and then you have another pair of ear wires. And again, you can adjust them according to your preferences to make them the same. Alright, second pair done. Now, the third pair is a little bit more It's not difficult, but it's just a little more tedious. Okay, so this is the wire wrapped ones, and with this one I'm going to work right off the spool because I'm going to need to do some wrapping. So I'm going to measure about 2 inches down. Okay, then I'm going to use my round nose pliers and I'm going to make a loop right there. Okay, right at the 2-inch mark. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hold that loop, and that's going to be the ear wire. That's the part that's going to go in your ear. Okay, and I'm going to bring the loop in, so I'm just going to straighten it a little bit if I can, but that's alright, I can always manage a little bit later. So I'm working right off the spool. I'm going to start. Okay, so now I just got that started, and what I'm going to do is straighten that loop so that it's a straight piece coming up. Okay, so you can see that's straight now. Okay, now I'm just going to wrap as much as I like, really. I mean, it doesn't really, there's no preference of how much you want, you need to wrap it until you feel happy with it, and then you can go right down over the loop a little bit. Okay, and just kind of make it messy. Now I feel like that's enough for me, so I'm just going to cut it, tuck that wire in. Alright, and I'll come back and show you how to finish it. Okay, and now I have 2. I've made them roughly the same. If they're not exactly the same, it's fine. It's more of an organic look anyway, so it's not hugely important. Then just back to whole idea of just a Sharpie right over. Alright, and right over. I'm basically just making a loop, you know, a rounded thing. And you could make the ear wire a little bit longer if you prefer a longer look. It will work any way you prefer. Then I'm just doing the ends up, and then I have another pair of ear wires, another look. The last one I'm going to do today is this one. Now some people like to use beads, or sorry, not beads, but yeah, like a silver bead. And I actually like the look of a crystal, but you could use a silver bead as well. I think maybe a 2 to 4 millimeter would be perfectly fine. Again, I'm going to start with a loop. Okay, so now that I have a loop, I need that to be sort of a 90-degree angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my loop and I'm going to kind of make it sort of come straight like that. So if you notice, it's a little bit of an angle now. Okay, yeah, so you want to put your bead on before you do your hammering. Okay, so I'm just going to just hammer a little bit right here, just above the crystal. Be very careful, you don't want to break your crystal, because you can. And all that is marking off where I'm going to be coiling. I don't want to go coiling above that. It will also keep my coil in place. Okay, so now I have a 28 gauge wire, and I'm just going to leave a little tail there, and I'm just going to do wrapping around. And it's okay if the coils are not perfectly pushed together right yet, because you're just starting out, and that's okay because you can always push them together. So that little piece there, I'm just going to wrap that. So far that's what I have. So I'm just going to wrap that right around. Okay, and you notice that they're kind of separated, but that's okay, don't worry about it. Again, we will push all those coils together. That's a great thing. As long as your coils are straight and not overlapping, you can easily push them together and everything will just be fine. So I'm just going to push this in a little bit. Okay, now I'm just going to take my fingernail and my thumbnail, and I'm just going to push right down on those coils. Alright, and then you have that so far. I'm just going to do a little bit more coiling. I'm just going to take it right up to that space where I've hammered. Okay, and that's sort of my stopping point, and it's good because it will show me sort of an idea so that it'll match the other side. So I'm just going to go right there, holding on to the coils. Sometimes your coils will twirl around your wire. If that happens, just hold it with the pliers and continue to wrap. So I think I have what I want. Going to trim that back. Make sure that that wire is in. And now I'm going to do a 90-degree angle and then go right around the Sharpie. Okay, that's one side, and then I'll do it the other one. 90-degree angle right around the Sharpie. And then after that, it's just a matter of doing a little end, and you have a completed pair of fishhook earrings with crystals. And that concludes the tutorial. I hope you liked it. If you liked, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And please let me know of any future tutorials you'd like to do. I'd love to hear all your comments and ideas. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.